Welcome back to Uriel's Landing. This channel is about learning to be a conscious creator. And as we consciously create, one of the main things we have to do is manifest the life that we want. And one of the most important principles of that is that we have to be in alignment. Now, if somebody tells you to get aligned, you might not know, what does that even mean? What do you mean get aligned? But what we want to do is produce a clear signal to the universe about what we want and who we are and what should get reflected back to us. And if we do it unconsciously, the universe will just kind of pick up the strongest signal around us and give that. But if we can align ourselves and broadcast the right message, then the universe will reflect that. So what we need to do is an alignment process, almost like aligning the tires on your car. Some of this is mechanical. So, people in the past that have talked about aspects like this have made broad, sweeping statements, but I want to try to make it more comprehensible. And alignment, to me, is that you have a body, so you have to figure out, you got to be in your body a little bit. So that, everybody starts with a little bit of meditation or listening to easy tones or relaxing. The point of that is to settle your soul in your body and be aware of your body, because you want your body participating in this. So at the base level, we just kind of get our body aligned. Next up, we got to get our mind. And when I talk about the mind, there's really two parts in here. So you have your thoughts, and the thoughts are what kind of come into your head. I don't know if you know this, but it's pretty hard to control your thoughts. They just kind of enter. And what the power you do have is whether you believe those thoughts or not. You don't have to believe every thought you think. You are an awareness, and you are an awareness perceiving those thoughts. So there's a level of separation as you wake up. There's a level of separation between I am angry, I am sad, I'm hungry. You can recognize those things, but those are how your body feels or the things that you're experiencing. But you're not anger. I am angry. Well, I'm not anger. My essence is not the essence of anger. I'm not the spirit of Mars incarnated. I'm not the god of war. Right? So we got to be discerning with what our mind is saying, and we have to analyze it with our mind's eye, our awareness that's picking and choosing what we actually want to believe. And some of this is, there's some old code. There's some old code running in your subconscious, and we gotta dig it out, we gotta extract it, and we gotta get rid of it. So the first step is getting in our body. The second part is using our mind to sort of start thinking through our imagination and what we want the world to look like. And there's more detailed steps for that, but it's about this kind of mental training to, if you start having this really negative self-talk, you gotta tell yourself, nope, not today. We're not doing this today. I don't need to hear that. You can sit down. I got work to do. Tell it to yourself, parent yourself. So that's your body, that's your brain. You got to get your heart in alignment. So you got to get in touch with your feelings. Even if you're a dude, you got to be in touch with your feelings. You got to know what's in your heart. I do an exercise to sort of purposely open up my heart and ask it questions and see what it says. There might be other ways to do it, but that's one of the other things we really got to get in alignment. And then you kind of got your soul. You got to get your soul in alignment. You know, what is it? What is your divine purpose? You know, are you here to be a barista for your whole life? You know, maybe you are. And I'm not trying to fault that. But, you know, if you're stuck in a job and you're doing some things with people that don't fill your cup, that doesn't fulfill your purpose, you know, you're not in alignment. So that combination of your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul are most of what you have to get in alignment. And then once you've done that, you got to take a step in the real world. If you want a dog, go buy a collar before you find the dog. You want a baby, go get a onesie. You want a car, get a key ring. You want to write a book, write a page. You gotta, the universe is a mirror. So you got to take the first step. So those are the things that we got to get aligned. Your body, your brain, including your awareness, that's separate from your thoughts, kind of analytically can dissect your thoughts, your heart, your soul and its purpose, and finally your actions in the real world. And when all of those things are pointing in the same direction, you are broadcasting with clarity to the universe. And you also have to be in a position to receive. You might broadcast and then not have your hands out. You might say, I'm not good enough, or this will never happen, or some other limiting belief. And so it's going to block it. So you got to get aligned. You have to take action, and you kind of have to set your antenna to be broadcasting and receiving. And when all of that is functioning, you'll start manifesting. Hope that helps.